Good morning, YouTube family. Good to see you here. Welcome to Happy Crappy Hour. Good morning and good afternoon and good evening, wherever you might be. So glad to have you here on Escape from Crazytown, where we have gotten out of those toxic relationships and especially away from narcissists. Oh my gosh, if you can get away from a narcissist, you are blessed. Just want to let you know that. Well, today we're going to talk about why the narcissist needs new supply. Because you see, they don't stick around with the old supply for long. Or if they do, they treat the old supply really badly. So even if they're with old supply, they are continually seeking new supply, meaning they might be cheating or they might be just getting uh, the supply from somewhere besides home. So we want to talk about this, and we want to talk about how you're getting sucked back into being supply for the narcissist and how that happens, what that looks like, and why we don't want to be that for the narcissist. So good to see you guys hopping on. Rissa Risk, good to see you. And Monroe, good to see you. And let me see if I can change my, I always forget to do this, to live chat. There we go. John, for some reason, sometimes you guys don't pop up for me. Gal, I cannot see this. Gallifrey. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Oh, from the UK. So good afternoon. Oh, Monroe, my first live. Good. Great. So glad that you made it on this channel, I mean. Yes. Riss and John. Good to see you guys hopping on. Well, you guys, this is Happy Crappy Hour, and we talk about what good things happened this week, and we get to catch up a little bit, and what bad things, of course, also might have happened this week. But we want to learn from the bad things that happened. Don't waste a bad experience. That means learn from it, get something from it. Don't just let it happen to you and then devastate or traumatize you for no reason. You want to learn from it, grow from it, and get stronger. So that's what we are doing here this week. Um, John says, I got contacted by her recently saying she's still in love with me. Oh my goodness. See, John, it has been building up to this all along. You've been saying it uh, for the whole time I've known you, that she's been contacting you, even though I believe she's with somebody else. I don't know if she's married to this other person, but you know that you need to stay away from her because she is bad news. And this is exactly, it goes back to exactly our topic today. Excuse me, you guys, I need to drink some water. Oh, that's great, Risharis. She says, my happy is this live. I am always encouraged. My crappy is I am still feeling sad about the narc getting married and believing he is happier with her. Yeah, you know what? And in the beginning, of course, this is how they're going to feel. I was just talking to a viewer yesterday who was saying, how happy they look with the new supply and all that. And, the honest truth is, it always seems good at the beginning, like any relationship, right? Before they get to know each other. And the thing with narcissists is they don't get to know their new supply very well before they get married. Um, or they build up the new supply to be this fantasy person. And the new supply cannot live up to that. Cannot. Because they're a person. They have needs and wants and desires, and they have issues, they have baggage just like the rest of us. And when that starts to come out, the narcissist goes nuts because now they're not getting from the new supply what they thought they were supposed to get, that fantasy character, right, that they built up in their mind. And John, that's the thing. Oh yes, he says she is married. So stay away. Run away from her. Do not allow her. I know you said she is trying to use her son to contact you. Don't engage. Excuse me. Don't engage with that. Do not respond to it in any way. And that actually falls into this topic today. Jihad, good to see you. Galley Fry Ocean says, so glad I've caught alive finally. My crappy is seeing my ex having a ball with his current girlfriend too. It is always an image, you guys. It really is. You know, and they can have moments of fun, all right? I'm not saying that all of it is not happening, even though you're seeing it happening, right? Yes, you might see them with pictures, but here's the deal that people don't really talk about. When you watch a movie on a set or something like that, and you watch a love scene, the characters act like they're madly in love while the camera is rolling. As soon as the director calls cut scene, like the actors act like, oh, okay, you know what, I need a cup of coffee, I need to go over here, I got a phone call I gotta make. They totally break out of character, and it seems like, what the heck just happened? That's exactly what happens in a narcissist's life. It is all for the camera. It's for that photo shoot. It's for that perfect shot that they can post on their social media to make it look like they're living this extravagant, beautiful, fun, exciting life with the new supply, but they're not. And they may even go out, right? And for that moment that they're out, they act all lovey and dovey. Again, it's like they're on camera. They know they're on camera because people are watching. So they've got to play it up. They'll be all over each other, pawing one another, right? And it looks like they're just so in love and can't get enough of each other. But let me tell you, every relationship I know with a narcissist is a total lie. Total lie. It just is. So let me get into some of these comments, and we're going to dive into our topic. Although I do want to share with you some of my happies and crappies, and I want you guys to keep sharing that as well. Lawless says, these people are so selfish and evil. They destroy families almost every day. I am hurt in tears thinking about my daughters, who the court granted her custody. Oh no. Lawless, I am so, so sorry. It is devastating to have a narcissist in your life and come in and out of your life and destroy your life. But it's even worse when you have children with them, because now your heart is tied to children who are now under the narcissist's, I don't know, I can't even think, under the narcissist's thumb, really. The narcissist under their control. And when the court rules this, it feels like there's nothing you can do. Lawless, what I would suggest for you, and this is going to possibly be quite a long fight, but don't give up. Just keep documenting. Document everything that she does, or if the kids say things, don't encourage them to say anything negative about her. But if they do bring it up, and if they do say that she's been doing something really weird or funny or, sounds sketchy, write it down. Write the date, the time, what the kid, what your child says, and document it. Keep it in a binder. Keep it organized. And you never know. One day it could come in very handy if it ever comes up that you need to have custody of the children. Well, you guys, Jihad says, yeah, don't believe that he is truly happy with the new supply. Nothing ever changes with these people. He's talking to Rissa. Yeah. Monroe says, my ex cheated on me with her new supply. That's also a narc, but they don't put each other on social media, and she still had me on hers months ago when I gave. Oh, you gave a, okay. When you cared. I didn't know what that meant. Ah. You know what? That means they were triangulating the new supply by using you. And the new supply, that's one of their manipulations, by the way, and one of their tactics on how to control the new supply. They'll talk about the ex, which is you, and they'll either play you up like you were this wonderful ex that did all kinds of good things for them. Of course, you were terrible and psycho, and that's why they had to let go of you. But they'll talk about all the other things that you did for them, like a slave, right? You just slaved away for them and did everything they wanted and cooked their favorite meals, and always bought them things, or was always considerate of them, and always did what they wanted in the bedroom. They'll play you up like this. so that the new supply would have to compete with you. And that is part of why they might leave up your social media pictures and not post the new supply. Or they really are embarrassed to be with a lower grade new supply and they don't want other people to know that. This is why, by the way, it's important to know why the narcissist needs new supply. They stopped getting, I'll tell you the clue right here, they stopped getting validation from you. That's what happened. Even though you might have been excellent supply to them, when you stop giving them, excellent supply as in financial or giving them a stable place to stay, or you had connections that would help them in their career, or you're just a really, wonderful, awesome, vibrant, lovely person. And they love that. They love being around people who give them energy. They will suck the energy out of you, but they love that. But you stop validating them. You stop telling them how amazing and wonderful and incredible they are, because they're not. They're abusive and they're moody and they're cringy and they manipulate you and they make you feel like nothing, and they put you down. They're cheating on you. When they're doing these things, you're like, okay, even though you're great supply to them, you stop giving them validation. They don't get the major supply they want, which is validation. They absolutely need that. So they go to new supply for validation. They go to someone who doesn't know them, doesn't know their character, doesn't know that they're a total jerk yet, doesn't know that they're manipulative and that they're a narcissist. And that's where the new supply looks at them at like a new shiny thing, right? And they go, oh, this narcissist, or they see the narcissist as a narcissist, but this person is just so amazing. They're perfect. They're wonderful. And the narcissist presents that way. Like they're this wonderful, romantic, considerate, loving person. And the new supply will reflect that back onto the narcissist and tell them, validate them, tell them how amazing they are, how they're just the most wonderful person they've ever met. So let me get to what spurred me on to this topic today. Yeah, Liv, good to see you, by the way. Says he has another supply, but he still won't leave me alone. Year and a half later, I'm still fighting to stop being harassed. Exactly. Because they are not getting the validation from the new supply that they thought they were going to get forever, right? In the beginning, it seems like a fantasy. They're all over each other, pawing each other. The new supply is happy to please the narcissist. And the narcissist thinks, of course, this is going to last forever. I don't have to do anything, and this new supply is going to give me total validation and respect and just honor me and worship me and think that I'm the best. And this is what the narcissist thinks they're going to be getting from the new supply, until the new supply is like, hey, I have needs too, and you're not fulfilling my needs. So now the narcissist is like, what? Why do I have to work at this? Why do I have to give to you? And that's when they start reaching back to you, right? They start reaching back to the X supply, because they're like, I need some validation again, because you were really a wonderful person. You were great to them. And they're like, well, maybe you'll come back and give them more validation, give them more supply. Let me jump right into this now. I know I've been saying this, and we did touch on it already. The validation. The reason I got into this is because I read somebody's comment to this question on Quora. You guys know I go onto Quora sometimes. I don't go onto it a lot, but occasionally I'll go on there. And I like to see some of the questions that are asked there. And sometimes I answer them. But sometimes I see some really awesome answers, and I want to share them with you guys. One is about the narcissists and validation. And this person wrote, first they started off with a quote from Confucius, which says, what the superior man seeks is in himself. What the small man seeks is in others. And that is the narcissist. The narcissist seeks from others instead of from within himself. And that's why the narcissist needs new supply. They need other people to confirm and validate them. So this is what the article says. And I want to also stop along the way and emphasize some of these points because they're very good. This one says, I will keep saying this for as long as I can until we drill it into our heads. Disorder or not, narcs, along with everyone we meet in life, have no right to hurt us. That's right. Whether they have a disorder or not. And they, I'm tired also of people using excuses that they have some kind of mental disorder and that's why they are the way they are. Now, that explains it for that instance, but it doesn't explain why the person doesn't work on themselves. Like, you got to keep working on yourself. We understand you have traumas, you have ways that you were raised that conditioned you or taught you to be the way you are, but you can unlearn that. Hold on a second, you guys. I got to get another drink of water here. Alrighty. Sometimes I forget to load up in the morning. All right. I'll keep going here. Narcs are, as I often write, are nothing more than parasites. And I do not believe this is to be a polemical statement, meaning critical or controversial. I often write that I agree that evolution is a thing. You can see it in certain people, how irrational, barbaric, and uncivilized they are. Heck, you can see it in mob mentality. You can see it in religious disputes. You can see it in racial disputes. People, for the most part, are still evolving, and for many of our species, they are still as barbaric and unevolved as our ancestors. Narcissists are like mosquitoes or leeches. They need others to feed on to survive, and this is no hyperbole. It's not a metaphor. It's true. They really do need to feed on people because they need that validation from you in order to feel like they matter. Okay, the author goes on and says, watch narcissists who have no supply. What do? They drown their worthlessness in alcohol. I have worked in bars before, and it is crazy how you see people waiting, lining up at the door for it to open up, to the point they are breaking down the door. They numb the pain of their existence with illegal drugs. They have sex with prostitutes just to feel something. These people need others. They need us in their worthless lives to validate that they are important. And once we move on and go no contact, like the melodramatic drama queen losers they are, they go on a rampage. They stalk us. They smear campaign us. They gossip about us. They spread rumors and get their flying monkeys to fly out and spread these rumors. They seek to destroy our lives simply for not validating their worthlessness. This is the author. This is not my words, but a lot of this is so on point, and this is why I'm sharing it with you guys. The author goes on to say, for normal people like us, if someone broke up with us, we'd hurt, but we would eventually move on. Why? Because we are adults. We are rational, and we understand and respect people's boundaries. Narcissistic people are not like this. They need people to constantly chase after them. It is a high for these irrationals. They are so silly and immature. It is like a game of tag for these kidults. Okay. These jokers are losers, and how they win in life is by having people acknowledge their worthlessness, which is why you shouldn't, no matter how crazy insane they behave. Be the adult. Be unshakable. Be you, not them. I want to stop right there. We're about halfway through this, but I love that. I love that this author says, be the adult, be unshakable, be you, not them. Do not get pulled into their childish tantrums, right? Don't get pulled into their gossip and their smear campaigns and their manipulations of other people against you. Just don't give into it, because children will continue to fight and fight and fight if they're continually prodded. But an adult can decide, even though you're prodding me, I'm not going to react. I'm not going, because I know where you're headed with this. I know you're trying to take me down. You're trying to get me to roll in the mud with you, and I refuse. And when you refuse to do that, oh my gosh, that's like the worst thing you can do to a narcissist, is not validate them, not respond or react to their insanity. And when you don't react to their insanity, it drives them even more insane. It's total crazy town, you guys, right? But here's the deal. You don't have to keep watching them go insane. You just don't react and you walk away. Or you don't react, you don't look. You don't even look on their Instagram or whatever they're doing, right? Twitter, Snapchat, I don't even know what they're doing. So whatever they're on, you have already blocked it, or you don't even, you hide it, right, from your feed so that you aren't being shown what's going on in their life. Although they will post things, the crazy thing is they are going to post things to try to hook you or try to hurt you or try to prod you. So when you're not looking, guess what? You're not prodded. You don't get hooked. Like if you don't go towards the hook, then you can't get hooked, right? So that's why it's so important not to validate, not to get engaged with, or to engage with. Don't get engaged. How am I saying this? Don't engage with the narcissist in whatever it is they're trying to do, right? Even if it seems sweet, right? The Hoover, when they're calling you, when they're texting you, trying to pull you back into their life because the supply they're with is no longer validating them and they don't have any new supply on the hook or ready to go, they will go back to old supply to see if they can get a quick fix, right? To see if you still care about them. And they may not even care to get together or back with you. They just want to know that you're still thinking about them. So even if you send back a, oh, hi, I was thinking about you too, and then you suddenly never hear from them again. That's all they wanted. They just wanted to know, like, oh, yeah, I still have an effect on this person. And I still am this amazing that they cannot let go of me in their minds, right? That is validating them. Well, you guys, so glad to see so many of you guys hopping on. Artist Lover, good to see you. Yeah, your ex never, she says, or he says, never acknowledged my needs and kept me a secret. The ex-narc never thought there was anything wrong with him. Yeah, Gallifrey Ocean says, so they are basically leeches. Yeah, because they need to feed off of us. If, they don't look within themselves. They don't look even within a higher power. If you're a religious person or they just don't look outside. I'm sorry. They don't look within themselves and they don't look within a higher power to find their validation. They look to other people. And that's why they're like hunters. They go around and they're hunting people to give them validation. Who is going to be a good suspect, or not suspect, a good prey, right? A good target to bring in and give me validation and be supply for me. They go around on the hunt, on the prowl. Yeah. Oh, Liv says, I reported my ex-narc to the police and I tried to get a restraining order. Yes, you know what? Protect yourself, Liv, because here's the deal. Let me see. I'm going to tell you guys about a news article I just read yesterday. Liv says he has another supply, but he still won't leave me alone. Yeah. Here's the thing. If you can, always have somebody walk you to your car. Always have somebody walk you or be with people when you're out. Don't be caught alone if you feel threatened by your ex. This is not a game you want to play with a narcissist because they can become violent. And when they want something and you're not giving it to them, you're not validating them, you're not agreeing to live under their thumb for the rest of your life, they freak out because they have lost control over you. This is not a game to them. This is survival to them. So I don't, although I do laugh about some of the things I talk about because it's so ridiculous, I am not laughing about the real violence that can happen with a narcissist. If they have already been violent with you, you need to document, you need to get protection, you need to get, pepper spray, something like that, right? Be prepared for them to come after you. I was reading this article yesterday, and it's so sad. It's this woman who I think she married this guy in 2016. I want to say it's 2015 or 2016. And trying to remember where they were from because they were, oh, India. Yeah, they were, so they had met in India or something like that, and they came here and they got married in 2016 or so. They had a child, and at this point in 2020, the child is 2 years old, and apparently he was very abusive towards her, so much that when they went back to India to visit family, her family filed restraining orders and complaints against him for him being abusive. She comes back to the U.S. and she files the same thing, these orders, restraining orders and such, because he is abusive towards her. He has hit her. And so she was going to try to move. So I guess a couple of days ago was her last day at work. She was planning on moving across the country to another, or not across the country, to another town. She was moving, I want to say like 4 hours away from where they lived, and to another town where more of her family lived. So on her last day of work, she goes out to the, after she's done, she's walking to her car, and that's when he ambushed her. And, it's horrible. He attacked her, and she's now dead. So I'm telling you, do not play with this. When a narcissist has already been violent with you, has talked about being violent with you, make sure you have protection. Don't think that you're away from them until you're really, truly away from them. And I'm talking about, in different towns, different cities, move away from them. If you're in the same town with them, they have pretty easy access to you. So be careful with that, you guys. So it's not a laughing matter. I'm really, really sorry that you're going through that, Liv. Yeah. Yeah. Artist Lover says, getting a restraining order is very stressful. Oh, gosh. I've never had to do that. So I am so sorry that you guys are going through that. I know of people who've had to do that. It's weird, why narcissists think that they own you. They think that no matter how badly they treat you, you're still theirs because you made a promise. And that's the way they see it. You made a promise to me. You told me you would stay with me till death do us part. And it's like, yeah, but you made a promise too. You made a promise to love and honor, and you didn't. They don't see that they don't follow through with the contract, because that's what relationships are to them. It's a total contract. They only see that you are not holding up to your side of the contract. They never see that they have a side of a contract too to also uphold. Well, you guys, let me go on with this about validation, because that is the biggest wake-up call to any of you who might be thinking, oh, but I miss them so much and I want to go back and it was so good. Here's the deal. Even if your narcissist was not violent with you, they just don't care. They don't care about you. They only care to use you. So why would you want to go back to somebody who simply looks at you like you're something to be used? Here's the rest of this article. Nothing destroys a narc more than not being validated. By not validating them, what you do is remind them that, yes, you are nothing and you are no one. Think about punishment when you were a kid. What did your parents do when you were bad? They sent you to your room by yourself. They paid no attention to your behavior. And how did you feel? Most likely hurt. This is the other person, this is the author of what they were writing. Narcs are kidults. This is how they feel when they go no contact and don't put up with their nonsense. When we go no contact and don't put up with their nonsense, it hurts them on a massive level. It hurts them even more when they try and discard us and we don't seek their attention. Oh my gosh, you guys. Yes, during the discard, and if any of you guys are going through this right now, do not validate them. The rest of this is going to help you understand. Do not validate them even when they're discarding you. Like, just say, okay, I guess it's over. I mean, I know you don't want it to be over, but man, let me tell you, They love it when you're throwing a fit and crying and begging to stay and please keep me and let me stay, and they just slurp that up. They love that. And by the way, they will replay that over and over and over in their heads about, and that's how they get their validation even when you're no longer there. They will replay in their heads the times you begged to be in their life. And that's how they see themselves. They think of themselves as someone that's so worthy that another person would beg them to be in their life, right? So the rest of this article, let me read this to you. God, I have been discarded by narcs in the past or attempted to be discarded. And when they said they no longer needed me or wanted to be with me, and I said, okay, they would always give me a look of confusion. They wanted me to break down and say I will change and be what you want me to be. And I didn't. And what these losers usually do is send a flying monkey to try and hoover me back, or send me a message a year later saying, hi, thinking about you. These people are losers, and the best way to get back at them is not to validate them. If they give you the silent treatment, accept it. If they smear campaign you, better to have people hate your image than your character. Always keep your character. If they send you threatening text messages, use it to get a restraining order and tell them it is for them so they never have to see you again. Seeing as they hate you so much, it's a favor you are doing for them. And if and when they try and hoover you back, remind them they got rid of you for a good reason, and you accept them discarding you. What this shows them is that they aren't good enough to be chased or to be begged, right, you guys? Like when you're begging them, please don't end this. Don't do that. It feeds their ego. These people need a high, which is us. Don't be it. Much like an addict who can't get access to a drug will go through some bad withdrawal episodes, so too will these jokers also go through their withdrawal episodes. Walk away and don't validate these losers, and you will win like a winner. I love that. Well, you guys, the thing is, yeah, they need a high, and you are it. Don't be that. And they are going through withdrawal, and that is what is happening when they start to hoover. They're going through withdrawal because their new supply is no longer giving them validation, no longer giving them that hit, right, that they're longing for, that high that they're seeking. The new supply is not doing it for them anymore. So they're desperate. They need to get that high somewhere. So they go seeking it from anybody who's willing to give it to them. And they will go through their exes to see if they can get it from their exes. Like, just validate me. Give me that high. Tell me that I'm worthy. Tell me that you're still hung up on me and you can't move on. And then once you do, they're like, that feels so good. And then they leave. And you're like, what the heck? I just, again, made myself vulnerable so that this fool can leave me. So don't put yourself in that situation. Don't get pulled into that situation. Yeah. So Nefertiti, good to see you. Wow. Artist Lover says the ex-narc is gone forever because I reported him to the police. Yes. Oh, that's good. If you want, if you are able to get rid of the narcissist, but you're still pining for them, you're still romanticizing what you used to have, here's the deal. There may have been good moments in your relationship with the narcissist. And I bring that up because you're looking at the new supply and you're seeing them having a good moment, right? There were a few good moments, right? Maybe even a lot of good moments. But the bad moments were so bad that it is not worth staying with the narcissist. You have to remind yourself of that so that when they come hoovering, when they need that fix from you again, you don't fall for it. You don't fall for the, oh yeah, I do miss their sweet talk and the way they used to be with me. And no. When you fall into that again, you give them access to you, and you give them the ability to do to you again what they had already done. So you guys, let me catch up on some of these comments. Lawless, good to see you, says, these people are so selfish and evil. Oh, I'm sorry. I already read that one. Yeah, went back too far. Uh, oh, yeah. Going to court. It's hard to represent yourself. Make sure you're well documenting. You're documenting well and you bring all that with you. Ooh, Monroe says, their new supply is married with kids. He left his wife for my ex-narc. The wife knows. Wow. Wait a minute. Their new supply is married with kids. So your ex is, okay. He left his wife for my ex-narc. Oh, the wife knows. Now my ex-narc and her new narc live together. And the new narc was jealous of me so bad. Wow. Yeah, and that's the crazy thing is, you guys, they always think the new supply is the best, right? And every new supply thinks that they're so much more special than old supply. And what the deal is, the new supply never is more special. The new supply is just new validation. Somebody who doesn't know the narcissist well enough to stop validating their insanity, right? To stop feeding their ego. Once the narcissist wears down the new supply stops giving them all of this, lavishing love and attention and admiration onto them. Once the new supply backs off from that, it's like, well, hold on, I can't just be lavishing this onto you every day of my life. You're sucking the life out of me. Once the new supply has a bad day and is not feeling good and needs attention, needs comforting, needs loving comfort from the narcissist. The narcissist is going to be like, what? You're too much work. What the heck? Why do I have to give this to you? It is simply a little moment in time when they're doing well, when things are looking good. It is not what their real life is. Yeah. Rissa says, thank you everyone for the support. I appreciate it more than you know. Yeah. Liv says, yes, ignore, ignore, ignore. And he escalates harassment, stalking, intimidating, etc. A year and a half later, I don't know what to do anymore. When will he stop? Oh, Liv. Liv, here's the deal. You may have to try to, yeah, okay, she does say, I reported my ex-narc to police and tried to get a restraining order. And you work in the same industry. Yeah. Liv, I'm trying to find more of your comments to see. Yeah. Yeah, get that restraining order, but here's the deal, so that there's record, but I feel so bad for people who've had to get a restraining order. The restraining order itself doesn't protect you. I mean, there's a little bit of a consequence, I guess, if they break the restraining order, and you can report that. So definitely report it if they're breaking the restraining order. Every time, by the way. Talk to the police about what can you do. What is there that you can do to protect yourself? And find out from domestic abuse situations or people who counsel that, because they may give you some really good ideas about how to protect yourself and how to be on higher alert. You have to be fully aware of your surroundings, because this person already is showing that they're harassing you and they won't let you go. So you got to make sure that when you're walking out of a store, or you're walking to your car, or you're walking in the park, or wherever you are, don't just be staring at your phone. Be fully aware of your surroundings. Know where people are. Know if there's somebody, if your ex happens to come upon you and starts harassing you, That's why you want to know, like, are there people nearby who I can call to help me? Where can I run to? Is there a storefront that I can go through or towards? You want to assess wherever you are, and you have to live this way for a while. By the way, it's not a terrible way to live. It's good to know your surroundings. This just simply makes you now not a target, even for criminals, because criminals don't attack people who are fully aware of their surroundings. They go after targets that are distracted. So this is just simply a smart way to be and to behave, and a good habit to have. Yep. Yeah. Lala says, why do they think you want them after they have discarded you and you have gone no contact? Let me see if they think that you still want them is because their thinking is not logical, okay? They are not logical. For us, we would know, like, okay, this person dumped me. I guess we're done. And you don't go running back to them, right? You might bump into them in town or something like that, but you certainly don't try hoovering them back into your life. Um, you can see right away when you bump into them in town that they're not interested. Then you know, like, oh, well, that's good. That's fine. No big deal. But for a narcissist, what they think of is everybody is under their spell. For some reason, narcissists really truly believe that they are extra special and have this power over people. So they don't think that anybody ever truly cuts them out. They kind of know it. They kind of sense it. They know you have gone no contact, right? They know that. But in their minds, they still think that they have this superpower of being able to fool you, because as you know, everybody's dumber than the narcissist. The narcissist thinks that they're the smartest, most clever person in the room or in the town or wherever you might be in the office. And they think that there's no way you're going to catch on to what I'm trying to do. Another part of the equation, also desperate. So they will take chances. They don't care. They don't care how stupid and foolish they look, because it doesn't even, they don't see themselves that way. They don't see themselves as stupid and foolish. All they see themselves as brazen. So they're like, yeah, I'm an alpha. So that's why I go after what I want. And that's what they're thinking when they go after somebody or hoover somebody that they have already discarded and has gone no contact with them. They think that they're just being courageous and brazen and an alpha to come after you. So they don't see it as, oh my gosh, okay, this person already has gone no contact, has moved on, is married now, has kids. They don't even see that. They will still try to hoover you back in. It's insanity. And that's why when you're dealing with a narcissist, you cannot use logic with them, that is, right? You cannot try to rationalize what they do, because what they do is not logical. It just isn't, right? By your standards, by my standards, by reality standards, it is not logical, because they are driven inside of their fantasy world, inside of their crazy town. That's where they live. They don't live in reality with the rest of us. In Crazy Town, they are the king or the queen, right? In Crazy Town, they rule over everybody, and everybody is susceptible and to their spell, to their charisma, to their personality, right? They just think like everybody just loves them. And for a while, people do, because a lot of times narcissists are the fun loving kind of, main point focus of the party. They are the one who brings in the party. So you want to be around them at first, but then you're like, man, this person's getting really annoying, and you back away. You start backing away. And they just can't understand that. Like, why are people backing away from me? I don't understand. There must be something wrong with that person. So, but ultimately, they just cannot see that they're a normal person. They see themselves as supernatural. They see themselves as someone who can finagle their way. They see themselves as so clever. Like, they think that they're, what do they call it? Oh, actually, it's so funny because they talk about mental gymnastics, but they do mental gymnastics. They jump around inside of their heads to make things seem logical to them. When the rest of us are looking at them saying, "What? Why would you do that? Why would you go back to an ex that clearly has no interest in you, has slammed the phone on you, has walked away, has not responded to any of your calls, your texts, or anything, and then in fact has told you stop calling me, I don't want you anymore, or even has uh, um, gotten a restraining order against you, right? And they're still thinking, ah, no, they still want me back. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have a story for you where this guy, well, the story ends up being like they're both narcissists. One just happens to be the guy was an overt narcissist, and the girl, the woman, was a vulnerable, covert narcissist. Well, the overt narcissist, once they broke up, because here, let me tell you what, two narcissists getting together is a total disaster. It's just a nightmare. It's a car crash. It's a wreck, right? So at first, of course, they use each other, and they try to portray like, oh, we have this wonderful, fantastic relationship. Of course, they don't because they're always fighting. It's nasty. It's disgusting. It's horrible. She finally has had enough because the covert is not able to manipulate the overt narcissist, and the overt narcissist is not able to manipulate the covert narcissist, right? That is so hilarious to watch, by the way. Anyway, they break up. Well, the overt narcissist, he wants her still under his thumb. And guess what? He goes and slashes her tires. And not only that, when she has other men over, he slashes those men's tires as well. And then down the road, he still thinks she wants him. I ran into him a few years ago, and this had been, I guess, at least 2 or 3 years after they broke up. And he was telling me how I just feel like we were meant to be together. I know she still wants me. And I'm like, okay, whatever you want to believe to make yourself feel better. But this guy, he doesn't see, like, okay, you're slashing her tires. And then you're slashing the tires of other men that she's dating or sleeping around with, not dating, right? And you still think that this woman wants you. Are you out of your freaking mind? Ooh. I don't know why someone is calling. Oh, so that's why narcissists are just not logical. They live inside of their crazy, weird world where they are in control of everything. And not only that, they cannot see their own transgressions. They don't see how bad they were to other people. They cannot put themselves in your shoes. That's why they have no empathy. They cannot, and they do not put themselves, I think that they could if they really wanted to. I mean, there's something in me that says maybe it is possible for a narcissist to change, right? I want to believe that. But evidence so far has shown that no, they just don't change. Now, people who behave narcissistically can change because they became narcissists through trauma. They became narcissists because of how they were raised or the trauma they received and the example they follow in order to survive, right? Now they can change because they can learn. They have a conscience. They feel guilt. They feel empathy. They know what it's like to be in somebody else's shoes. They can imagine it. That's not a narcissist. But they might behave narcissistically. Those people I have seen change. But a narcissist is so detached, and you can see this too, because for some reason you just never fully connect with them emotionally. You just don't. Like they're in outer space or something. When you're face to face with them talking about something that's deep, it's like they're not quite all there. They're distracted. They're not connected. It's like they're watching through a storefront window. They're watching your life through a storefront window. They're not engaging with you. They're just observing. They can't feel or sense what you're feeling or sensing. It's so crazy. And they don't feel for you. They just don't. They don't feel for the trauma you've been through. And especially, they don't feel for the trauma they've caused you. They cannot see that. They're like, I don't understand why you would be upset that I slashed your tires and cost you, hundreds of dollars that you don't have while you're on welfare. I don't get it, or I don't get it why you think that I'm bullying you just because I'm yelling at you and pushing you around. I don't understand. Or they're like, I don't understand why you don't know that I love you when I'm calling you every name under the sun that's nasty and horrible and demeaning you. But I don't understand why you don't think I love, you think I don't love you. It's like, oh my gosh, they are not connected to reality because they're living in this weird, bizarre world where they are the king. They can do no wrong. And they can only see what wrong you are doing. So that's why they come after you. They come after you because they need to be fed. The king needs to be fed. The queen needs to be fed, right? They need validation that they are the king or the queen of Crazytown. And you're like, I'm getting the heck out of Crazytown, by the way. I don't need any of this crap. And you run the other direction, and they will chase you down. They will chase you down because they're convinced time, or maybe multiple times, moments of wonderful, incredible sex you might have had, right? Or maybe wonderful experiences, vacations you went on, or times that you spent together and at the fair or wherever you went, to an amusement park, out with a group of people and had a blast, right? They remember those times and they think, ah, that's what I'm going to recapture with my old supply. Now they forget all the horrible trauma, all the traumatic times they put you through, all the cheating they put you through, or all the fights that they put you through, or all the times they harassed you and treated you badly and told you were worthless. They're like, oh, no, no, no. But they're just imagining in their heads those moments that look like a fantasy, and that's where they live. They don't remember all the other stuff that they never even fixed. They never even apologized for. They never even went back and helped you work through it and apologize for what they did. And yet they think that you will live in just those moments of fantasy that they are remembering, that they want to recapture with you. They're not thinking about you. They're thinking about recapturing the moments that made them feel validated, that made them feel like the king or the queen. That's what they're trying to recapture. They're not trying to get to know you better or love you better or fix what they had done to you in your relationship. They're not interested in that. They're just interested in getting their validation. And that's why we do not want to give that to them. Well, you guys, let me check on some of the comments here. Oh, goodness. Wow, okay. Not a member of the harem. I like that. Says, wow, those people are insane. Yes, they are. Artist Lover says, the new supply I'm thinking is a narc too. I knew her, invited her into our home. The whole time she was seducing him. Triangulation is real. The ex-narc was doing it with me and the new supply. Absolutely. Yeah, they love triangulation because it's like puppet strings for them. That's how they watch you too. They watch how you react when they talk about the third person, right? The other person. And they want to see, like, does that irritate you? Does it make you jealous? Does it make you feel like, you have to prove something to the narcissist? Now the narcissist knows they can pull your strings, right? They've got you. Yeah, Monroe says, my ex is a covert and her partner is an overt. Ah, isn't that crazy? So crazy. Yeah, and narcissists are drawn to each other, the covert and overt ones. It's hilarious to me because the overt narcissist thinks that the vulnerable narcissist is an empath. That's how it's so funny to me because the vulnerable narcissist is not an empath. That person is just as self-centered and self-serving and like a leech. Oh my gosh, you guys. And it's, to me, I mean, it's sad, but it's also hilarious to watch because you're You've been through it. They put you through this horrible relationship with them. And now you get to sit back and watch them get put through the same manipulation that they put you through. That's what's hilarious to me. And then they don't even know it because, of course, narcissists playing each other are not aware that they're playing each other. It's it's just mind-boggling, and it's like you want to sit down and get some popcorn. I'm serious. You want to sit down and just get some popcorn and be entertained. It's somewhat healing too because you go, okay, it wasn't just me. I'm not the only one who deserves this bad treatment, right? None of us deserve to be treated badly, by the way. But you feel like I'm not some weird target that attracts bad people. No, it's just that narcissists cast a wide net, and whoever they catch, that's their target. Oh, Tamara, yeah. Says the covert narcissist ex-husband that I have 6 grown kids by had his overt narcissistic wife lie on me and had me arrested twice. I'm still in court over a lie. Oh my gosh. Yes, protect yourself. Always, always protect yourself. And like, I've told other viewers, if you can, record any interaction you have with them. I would definitely have my phone on record. You may not want to hold it up to their face so they know you're recording, but record it, have it on recording so that at least it's capturing the sound, what's being said, so that when they try to say that you're the one who was being aggressive, you can hear on your phone, on your recording, that they're the ones who are being aggressive. Always protect yourself in that way. Obi says, my narc might have gotten me filthy rich for being stupid. For them being stupid, but that's good. That's nice when things work out that way. Yeah. Galley Fry Ocean says, good common sense to keep yourself safe in general. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Obi says, mine is upset her game's up after many years of this BS. Glad I went no contact, but kept track of every sneaky move they made. They think they're smart, but don't think before they react. No, they don't. Liv says, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Protect yourself, dear. Nefertiti says, I can't understand how I even got into this mess in the first place. I would have never thought in a million years this would happen to me. Nefertiti, me too. Me too. Narcissists will go after very strong, very balanced, very, I don't know how to, just sturdy people, they're drawn to us too. They are drawn to, because their life is so unstable, that they are drawn to people who are stable. So, but the sad thing is they jump in with all the stuff that we maybe are lacking, right? There could be things in your life that drew you to the narcissist. And this is where I say, don't waste a bad experience. You learn something about yourself through that, right? I learned that I was lacking some things in my life that I wanted, but I didn't know I wanted it at the time, right? I had learned at that point to live without a certain thing in my life, like a certain excitement in my life, right? Because life gets away from you. It really does. You get into this schedule or whatever, in your life, routine, and you forget to add excitement into your life. And here comes a narcissist, and you're sturdy and you're steady and you're stable and you have good things going on in your life. They're attracted to that. They bring the excitement, right? They bring the playfulness or the joy or whatever, and you're like, wow, no one's been this playful with me or happy or excited to see me, and this is kind of nice. I haven't experienced this, and you don't realize that you haven't experienced it in a while, right? You don't realize you were lacking this in your life. Well, here's the deal. Once the narcissist is gone, now you know what it is you want in your life. You want to have people in your life who are exciting, who are fun, who bring joy, right? And bring life into your relationship. Ah, thank you. I'm not sure how I can look this up. Not a member of the harem. Oh, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I think so. Aw, somebody sent me a super chat or a donation. Thank you so much. Says, um, thank you, Escape. I have a son with a narcissist. This is, oh, it disappeared. This is hard because his mom wants to control everything. She's also a narc. Yeah. Wants to control everything. Oh, man. Oh, so his mom meaning, your ex's mom. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, the thing with a narcissist is if you challenge them, they will rise. They do not back down. So this is why I never tell people go head to head with a narcissist. That is not smart because they will rise higher and more bolder, or they become bolder, and they will go on the attack. So be very careful of that. Never to encourage them in any way to see you as a threat, right? You want to come, and it's humbling. By the way, it is very humbling and it's frustrating, but you have to act as if you're not a threat to them. But document everything that they do, so that when the time comes, and if you end up in court with them, you will have evidence. That's why I talk about recordings. That's why I talk about even if you're not recording something, write it down. If your son says anything that's going on with the narcissist or his grandmother, the narcissist grandmother, you can write it down. Write down the date, write down what your son said, write down if there were any other people who might have witnessed it. Okay, write down their names and keep it in a binder. Keep it safe where they will never see it. But when you're with them, you don't need to act like, oh, I'm keeping track of what you're doing. And don't ever show your cards to the narcissist. Don't let them know, oh yeah, well, I'm building a case against you. Don't do that, because that will make them more, that's going to make them target you even more, right? So be so careful about that. Yeah, Obi says, my friend is awake, thanks to me introducing him to the red pill. Yes. Yes. Monroe says, Rissaris, mine did that a lot. But even during, oh wait, hold on. I missed something over here, you guys. Oh man. Yeah, exactly. Liv says, I made a huge mistake being with him. Now, a year and a half later, I'm still fighting to get away. It was and is like a horror movie. He's like it, the psychopath clown in that movie. Yeah, right? Monroe says, I remember warning my ex-narc that they were getting used and abused by the new narc, and she got defensive and tried to subtly tell me she was smarter than him. Yeah, I know, because that's the deal, you guys. That's so funny about narcissists, is that when they get together, they each think that they're the brains of the couple. And you just go, okay. And they do manipulate each other. The funny thing is, you watch them manipulate each other. You watch the vulnerable narcissist get the overt narcissist to feel sorry for the vulnerable narcissist, and then give in and do crap for them that they normally would not do, right? Like maybe pay their bills, or go fix their car, or whatever it is. It's just crazy. And then you watch the overt narcissist at some point get tired of this game, and they're like, okay, I'm giving, I'm tired of giving, what the heck? And then they explode and of course do their overt narcissist thing, and you're just like, wow, okay, I'm just standing back and watching this nightmare unfold. But at least you're not the one in it. Yeah. Artist Lover says, ruminating. I used to remember the good times. Now just all the bad. The bad was horrible. Yep. But, ugh. I'm not going to talk say about that. Oh, wow. Nefertiti says, you got it down, Pat. That's how they talk too. LOL. Yep. Oh, here we go. Monroe, this is where I was looking. I'm like, okay, I missed this comment somewhere. Monroe says, is it weird that my ex-narc didn't have good sex at all, but they were very seductive? No, actually, it's not weird. That's part of manipulation, by the way. The attraction, the desire they want, they are, oh my gosh, that cracks me up because that makes me think of the covert narcissist I knew. Because she is very seductive and she knew it. She knew how to be seductive with men. And I don't know. She told me that she was also awesome in bed, which I don't know that she was, but what do I know? I wasn't with her, right? So I just kind of wonder. I don't know. What I remember is that she hardly ever had sex with her husband, and that's why he started straying because he was begging her for attention. He was begging her to have sex. Like, how come you never want to have sex with me? And here she is telling me like how amazing she is in bed. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't know. I just don't see that. Yeah. Okay, you guys, let me go. Yeah, Obi says, same story, different narc. It sure is. It always is. Yeah. Talking about taking the red pill. Obi says, I wish I never took the red pill, but it is what it is. Here's the deal. Sometimes, just like the Matrix, yeah, living in a fantasy world seems so much better. But the reality of the fantasy world is it's very unfulfilling. That's why so many people check out. They do. They don't want to continue living in that world. So they become numb. They don't exist anymore, right? And they just fade away. You don't want that. When you take the red pill, by the way, everything comes alive. You're like your eyes are open, your senses are sharper, and you're like, oh my gosh, life is amazing. We can do so much. Why have I wasted so much time, right, with the narcissist? I want to go do and have and be and enjoy my life. It's incredible. Incredible. Aw. Okay, here we go. Monroe says, um, even during sex, she wasn't reciprocal. And even when she wasn't good at it. She lied about her abilities. Yes, oh my gosh. Well, you guys, narcissists think that they're the best. They're the smartest, they're the most sexy, they're the best at sex. And you're like, okay, I don't know about that, but all right. Here's the deal though with sex, it's more than just the act of doing it. When you are connected to that person emotionally and spiritually, it is so much more than that. It's such a deep connection that two people can have. But if you're just having casual sex, and even if it's, the mind blowing, exciting, and it's great, but then once it's over, it's like you don't really have a connection with that person. You don't feel, it doesn't last, right? It's just temporary. Well, you guys, our hour is up, but I am going to let you guys finish up some of your conversations, and I'm going to go through some more of these comments. Monroe says, I think I made supreme enemies by both of the narcs. They were both manipulating and sabotaging me. So I told the man's wife, and she said it saved her. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's the thing. After dealing with a narcissist, you feel worthless, right? Because they treat you the way they feel, a narcissist. And they project onto you all the horrible things they feel about themselves onto you. And you end up devastated. You end up feeling like you are worthless. You have nothing to live for. But that's actually what they feel about themselves. And they want to hurt you. They want you to feel what they're feeling. And it's dark. It is very, very dark. It is painful. It is empty. It has no light in it. So when you can bring light to somebody else, and this is, I know another viewer had written in and told me how they told the New Supply to look up narcissism, and then that was it. And I thought, that was a really kind thing to do, is to warn somebody to look up narcissism, because you know what they're going to go through. You know that they're going to be used and discarded. You know that it's going to be a train wreck at the end, and they may not have the sense or the maturity or the strength to get through it. But if they start, going through some of these channels, learning about narcissism, they will start to understand it's not them, it was the narcissist. And they won't continually blame themselves, right? And shame themselves for having gotten into this relationship with the narcissist. Yeah. Yeah. Obi says, like Sodom and Gomorrah, look for it and don't look back, or you'll be consumed by this evil. Yes. Rissa says, this hour goes by so quickly. Thanks for another successful week. Yes, you're welcome. Artist Lover says, yes, that is projection. I'm still trying to find myself. Absolutely. All the things that you feel so negatively from that narcissist, it was actually how they felt about themselves. Be aware of that. So imagine that for yourself, that this is not me. Whatever I'm feeling now about myself, that was not meant for me. That was meant for the narcissist. Like, that's how they actually feel about themselves. So don't take it on for you. Don't take it on for yourself. Well, you guys, I really liked what this commenter had said on Quora, and I want to repeat a couple of things she said, which is, be you, not them. So whatever happens in life, however they behave towards you, you hold on to your character, because that is the one thing that the narcissist cannot take from you, right? They can manipulate you for a while, but they cannot take your character. So always have character. Always be the adult. Do you. Don't be like them. And don't feel like it's excusable that, oh, well, they have a disorder, so that excuses how they treated me. No. You are an entire person who deserves to be treated well. Nobody deserves to be mistreated or hurt. Same thing, with us towards other people. That's why I don't teach you guys to take revenge. I don't teach you guys to go after people and get payback. Because you know what? First of all, it's dangerous. That just makes you now a target. Like I said, narcissists will rise up and try and squash you. The higher you go, the higher they will go in their harassment, that is, right? You don't want to engage with a narcissist like that. But also, you don't want to become them. Don't be like them. Be yourself. And before you met them, you were not this jerk. You were not this horrible person. You were not vindictive. You were not hateful. Then don't be all those things that they are. Hold on to your character. And that is my point, I guess, of all of this, is please know that there is a great future ahead for you. There is great life to be had. You can make really good decisions for your life. Don't make excuses for the narcissist, but don't become like the narcissist. Let go of that hate. And you know what? It's okay to feel hate for a while. By the way, yeah, we all go through it, by the way. It's okay to feel that. So don't be ashamed that you felt hate. Don't act on it, though, right? Don't be a fool. Don't be the fool that the narcissist is, and act on it. You don't need to do that. You are an adult, and adults don't need to react every time they're prodded, right? Children act, but adults have maturity. So be an adult, be yourself, have character, don't be the narcissist. And you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for coming in with your input and your wisdom. And thank you for your donations. I really appreciate that. You guys stay sane, stay safe, and be you. Love you guys, and I will talk to you guys next week.